Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to host your own Hytale server without the need of worrying about complicated network configurations, paying a third party to host your Hytale server, or even calling your ISP to pay a service to assign a truly 100% routable public IP used for situations like this, hosting your own server. We're not going to pay for anything. This is going to be a painless process, and we're going to use zero tier to get around the issue that you're experiencing where you can't host your own Hytale server through the share code as is. So you're going to create your world, right? You're going to then go into online play. You're going to turn on the option allow other players to join. You don't have to create a password. We're going to click save. This will then generate the share code. We're going to copy that share code and we're going to paste it to Notepad. So I'm going to click copy, and for reasons that I don't have to worry about blurring this out, I'm going to actually close this and then launch Notepad, and then I'm going to drag Notepad over here and I'm going to paste my share code, and I'm going to minimize Notepad. Now when you are hosting your Hytale server and setting up these options, click cancel when you get back to the Hytale screen. Your server is now technically running. Do not quit to main menu or quit to desktop. When you do this, two things happen. Number one, your Hytale server dies. And number two, the share code becomes null and void. You have to generate a new share code. Well, we don't want to do that, right? So just minimize out of Hytale. Your server is now running. So we're going to minimize out of Hytale. The next thing we're going to do is you're going to go and launch your favorite web browser. You're going to then go to zerotier.com. That is zerotier.com. I will put that URL in the browser. Okay, you are not going to download the client first. What you're going to do first is create an account, and we're going to do some simple configuration through the admin console on your own zero tier network. We're going to click login. You're going to select New Central. You will not be brought to this page at first. You will need to create an account. I recommend using a Google account or signing up through Zero Tier itself. You may have to verify the account through the email that you've used to set up the Zero Tier account. Once you get to this page here, we're going to name our organization, and I'm going to call it Hytale Server for YouTube video. I'm going to click create organization. Words are hard. We're going to then be brought to a tier organization page. So we want to not pay for anything, right? So we're going to click on the personal option. Now before you click on it, please note that you can only have up to 10 devices, which means that you can only have up to 10 players on your server. I'm not sure how many players are allowed to join a server. I'm not sure what Hytale supports, but please note that you can only have a total of 10 devices, and it does include yourself. So we're going to select Get Started under the free tier, and then we're going to be brought to a network page. So you have your organization at the top called My Hytale Server, whatever. You could call it My Hytale Org if you'd like. And then you're going to be brought to the network page here. What we want to do is we want to note the network ID up here at the top right. Now I'm not going to blur this out. This is a virtual network under Zero Tier. This has nothing to do with my actual network, but I will be blurring some things out. But for the purpose of this video, I don't need to blur this out because I can just delete the Zero Tier network and not have to worry about anything security wise. I'm going to copy the network ID and go over to Notepad, and I'm going to save that for later and paste it into Notepad. I now have my network ID saved. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to download the Zero Tier application. We're going to go back to zerotier.com. I'm going to click on download. Please note that this video is only intended for Windows 10 and 11 users. I'm going to click the MSI installer button under the Microsoft Windows option. You'll notice the multiple amount of downloads. That's because I've done many takes and I keep forgetting to do certain things, but this is the one. I'm then going to run my zero-tier installer. Now, if you're not sure where your download went, it most likely went to your downloads folder by default. You can also click on the pop-up that pulls up on your browser and start the download that way. Zero-tier will install, and then it's not going to do anything fancy, which is personally great in my opinion. What it will do is some cool things are happening in the background. You're going to launch the desktop tray by clicking on the caret arrow at the bottom right corner of your desktop screen. So here we have zero-tier showing in our desktop tray. We're going to right click on that icon and we're going to select Join New Network. Okay, so here is where you take that 16-digit network ID that you copy and paste it into Notepad. I'm going to Control C it after highlighting it and Control V it into my Join Zero-Tier Network box. I'm then going to click Join. You're going to go back to your web console page. So back to our web console page. I'm then going to notice that my device here has not been authorized. You must authorize any device that is joining your zero-tier network, or else you will not be able to play with your friends online if you do not authorize your own device and others joining your zero-tier network. So when you join your network first, you're going to go back to the web console, click on the device under the, let me go back, under the member devices heading here. You're going to click on your device. That is your actual, by the way, this is blurred out. This is your actual public IP, but it's not fully 100% routable, which is what we're trying to get around. But please note that this is your actual public IP under your ISP. We're going to go and click on that entry, and then I'm going to notice the device authorized button here. I'm going to enable that. Of course, I'm going to scroll down and hit save. Another thing as well, this is your actual hardware address, your MAC address for your network interface card as well. So that will be blurred out as well on my video. I'm now going to go over to the left and click on networks again. I can now see the OK status here. We are good to go under our own network. Okay. The next thing that needs to happen is your friends or whoever is joining your network needs to go on their computer and they need to download and install zero-tier themselves. They will then go back to the desktop tray, right click on their zero-tier app and click Join New Network, and you will give them the same network ID for them to join. They're going to join your zero-tier network, so they need to join with that network ID, right? So once they have joined, then what you will do then, you will authorize, you will then go down below here and authorize their device under the networks screen here. So you'll click on their device, right, and then authorize, click on their device again under the networks page again. Then you will authorize their device and click save. Now, once that is done, you're going to go back into Hytale, right? You're going to make sure that your settings are correct here. You're going to hit that copy to clipboard option or take the share code that you did paste to Notepad. You're going to give that to your friend. Now, let's pretend real quick that I am your friend joining your Hytale server. So just pretend, right? So I'm your friend trying to join your server. I'm going to click on servers and then join via code and then paste the share code and then hit join. You are now able to play with your friends online on Hytale. I'm going to get my friend to do this so that way I can show you that it works. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to show you what actually should be happening in live time. So my friend, and a lot of this info is going to be blurred out. So my friend has joined my Hytale network. So I'm going to go into his computer. I'm then going to authorize the device. I'm going to only put his first name and label it Cameron's PC. Of course, all this information here will be blurred. By the way, just don't, you should only be adding people that you trust to your network, and of course, you should obviously be responsible with people's information. Don't do anything stupid. It's a federal crime to mess around with networking things and do stuff without people's permission. It is against the law. It is a federal crime. So just remember, don't be stupid and have fun. Be safe, right? So I'm going to click save. All right. I'm going to then go back to networks. I then can see that Cameron's computer is now connected to my zero-tier network. I'm then going to provide him the share code and show you that it does work. Okay, so my friend is about to join. Let me send him a message. All right, is it working now?
It's doing the connection steps. 2 out of 5.
Okay, so I'm going to show you right now that this does in fact work. I have my friend joining my Hytale server. There he is. Where is he? Alright, Cameron, you're in the video. Where are you? I saw your name, but then...
starting room.
Alright, there he is. Okay, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. My friend and I are going to play a little Hytale. If you need any help, just ask me in the comments. But as you can see, it definitely does work. You don't have to pay for any kind of service. Don't have to do any complicated network configurations. And you can run your own server using zero-tier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fun time in your own server with your friends.